Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on the New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news now. Let's dive into what's been making waves in the NFL and more specifically, what could be a game changer for the New York Giants. You see, the Giants have started the season with a bit of a shaky vibe, right? Coming into the year, there wasn't exactly a wave of confidence flowing through the fanbase. Many fans and analysts alike expected a tough start, especially with the team having a new quarterback situation and some obvious question marks on both sides of the ball. Russell Wilson, the veteran quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, has taken the reins there, while Jackson Dart was pegged to be a developing project in the background. And for the Giants, after a surprisingly decent performance in their first week, scoring 37 points against the Dallas Cowboys, they still find themselves 0-2, which naturally raises a lot of eyebrows. But now, hold on, because what's really grabbing attention isn't just the record or their early struggles. It's a recent trade rumor that's been gaining steam and could really shake things up in the NFC East and beyond. We're talking about the possibility of the Seattle Seahawks trading their star running back, Kenneth Walker, to the Giants. Yes, you heard that right, Kenneth Walker, a player who has shown flashes of being a true difference maker in the NFL, could be heading to New York. And this isn't just some wild speculation. It's rooted in some pretty solid analysis and recent discussions that have been floating around since August. Back then, sports analyst Marissa Myers wrote an interesting piece explaining why the Seahawks might consider trading Walker. The core of her argument was that Walker's position on the depth chart was getting crowded. With Charbonnet, a player who's been making waves this season, and Helani, who's yet to touch the ball in 2025, the Seahawks might see an opportunity to move their star back. The idea was that since Walker's role in Seattle was diminishing, due to the emergence of Charbonnet and the presence of Helani, the Seahawks could look to recoup some value and maybe even get a good haul in return. Now, let's break down why this makes sense from a strategic perspective. For starters, Walker's situation in Seattle is complicated. He's been somewhat banged up, playing only 11 games last year, but this season, it's Charbonnet who's been the primary back. Charbonnet, despite an injury doubt with a foot injury that has him listed as doubtful, has managed to carry the ball 27 times so far in just 2 games, compared to Walker's 23 carries. That's a clear sign that the Seahawks are shifting towards a committee approach, which could spell trouble for Walker, especially if they plan to move him. And here's the kicker: Walker is set to be a free agent after the 2025 season. That means, if the Seahawks decide to trade him now, they might be doing so because they're unsure if they'll be able to re-sign him or keep him long-term. For a team that's competing, like the Seahawks, trading a player of Walker's caliber before he hits free agency can be a smart move, especially if they get good value in return. But here's where it gets even more interesting for the Giants. The trade isn't just about acquiring a talented runner, it's also about timing and fit. The Giants, at this point, don't exactly look like a Super Bowl favorite. Their odds to win the championship are around plus 35000, according to FanDuel, which makes them one of the long shots in the league. That's a crucial point. Teams that are not immediate contenders often don't go after a player like Walker unless they see a real opportunity to turn things around. And for the Giants, adding Walker could be a quick fix to boost their rushing attack, which has been somewhat inconsistent so far. Walker's rookie season was impressive. 50 rushing yards with a 4.6 yards per carry average and 9 touchdowns in just 15 games. Those are solid numbers, and even in a small sample this year, 2 games so far, he's managed 125 rushing yards on just 23 carries, averaging 5.4 yards per attempt and scoring 1 touchdown. That's a sign that he's still got plenty of juice, and his presence could be a game changer for New York. But of course, it's not just about what Walker has done, it's also about the context. The Giants are currently running a backfield that has potential but lacks proven production. Charbonnet, for example, has been getting a decent number of carries, but he's still trying to establish himself as a consistent force in the league. Meanwhile, Cam Scatibo, a player who's been part of the roster, has yet to show much in terms of production. So bringing in Walker could elevate the entire running game and take some pressure off Daniel Jones in the passing game, giving the Giants a more balanced attack. Now, looking at the Seahawks' perspective, they might be hesitant. Yes, Walker has been dealing with some injuries, but if they decide to trade him, they'd want to ensure that Charbonnet is healthy enough to handle the load. Right now, Charbonnet is listed as doubtful with a foot injury, which adds a layer of complexity to this potential trade. If the Seahawks are looking to rebuild or retool, trading Walker makes sense, especially with his impending free agency. They could aim to get draft picks or young players in return, rather than losing him for nothing next year. And for the Giants, acquiring Walker could be a strategic move to accelerate their rebuild or push for a playoff spot this season. Even though they're not favorites, adding a talent like Walker could change their dynamic. It's about seizing opportunities and making smart moves when they're available. The NFL is all about those small margins, and sometimes, a mid-season trade can be the difference between missing the playoffs and making a deep run. So, imagine Walker in that Giants backfield. His explosiveness and ability to break off big runs could complement Daniel Jones' play-action game perfectly. It would give the Giants a much-needed boost on offense, especially if their offensive line can hold up. Moreover, Walker's presence might even open up more space for the receivers, creating more opportunities for Saquon Barkley, if he's healthy, or other weapons in the passing game. But let's remember, this is all speculation for now. The NFL trade deadline is still a few weeks away, and many things can change. The Seahawks might decide to hold on to Walker if they believe he can help them win games, especially if Charbonnet remains injured or inconsistent. On the other hand, the Giants might look to make a bold move to shake things up, especially after that surprising 37-point performance against the Cowboys. They have the talent on defense, but their offense needs a spark, and a player like Kenneth Walker could be just that. Now, for the fans out there, I know you're probably thinking, what does this mean for the NFC East? Well, it could be a game changer. If the Giants do manage to add Walker and he performs well, it might push them closer to the top of the division, especially as the Eagles and Cowboys continue to battle it out. The NFC East is always a fierce division, but with a little extra firepower, the Giants could be right in the mix sooner than expected. And of course, this potential trade also raises questions about the long-term plans for both teams. For the Seahawks, it might be about building for the future, focusing on draft capital and younger players. For the Giants, it's about maximizing their current window and trying to turn the season into a playoff push. The NFL is a league of constant change, and sometimes a single trade can reshape the entire landscape. Before we wrap up, I want to emphasize that everything we're discussing is based on current rumors, analysis, and the state of the teams as of now. Nothing is set in stone, but it's fascinating to think about the possibilities. The Giants need to be aggressive if they want to compete, and acquiring a talent like Kenneth Walker could be exactly what they need to elevate their offense and give their fans hope for a brighter future. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest New York Giants news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So fans, keep a close eye on this situation. The NFL trade deadline is approaching and the rumors are heating up. Whether or not the Giants pull the trigger on a deal for Kenneth Walker, one thing is for sure, there's no shortage of drama, excitement, and strategic moves coming up. The NFC East is always unpredictable, and this season might just surprise us all. The Giants are looking to turn the page, and perhaps this could be the move that sparks a new chapter in their quest for greatness. The team has the talent, they have the coaching staff, and with a little bit of luck and some smart decisions, the Giants could be back in the playoff conversation sooner than we think. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Giants. Do you believe a trade for Kenneth Walker would be the right move? Or do you think the team should hold tight and focus on developing their current roster? Whatever you're thinking, I want to hear it. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest New York Giants news. We're in this together, and your passion is what keeps this community alive and thriving. Let's keep the conversation going, and here's to hoping for a bright future for the Giants, no matter what the trade deadline brings. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay passionate, stay dedicated, and let's go Giants.